What if Great Tusk was in Gen 1 overuse? Now, none of you have probably wondered about this. Personally, I have. Because, as we all know, Great Tusk is the best Pokemon in Gen 9 overuse. But what if it was in Gen 1 instead? Would it still be dominant? Would it be underwhelming? Or would it just be okay? There's only one way to find out. But unfortunately, that's through testing Great Tusk and, Gen 1 custom games. But I don't have any friends. And any of the people that I do know, they hate Gen 1. So we're going to the next best thing, which is, just go over, his stats, look over what moves he would probably have at the time, maybe look up some replays, and try to hypothesize if he would be good or not. So why don't we start off with these stats, because these stats are pretty good by Gen 1 standards. That attack and HP and defense, pretty high, or extremely high for Gen 1 standards, I'm pretty sure. And that speed, for Gen 1 standards, that's actually pretty good. Not to mention, since speed is determined by crits, being pretty fast, that helps it. Now granted, there is one thing that's sorta, kinda, maybe not good, and it's that special. 53 is yikes. It does not like special attacks. And in a generation where, psychics are everywhere, that's very bad. Speaking of which, while in Generation 9, its fighting stab's very good, helping it resist a lot of stuff. Oh, let's put this back in the Gen 1 OU so we can see its moves. Yeah, it does not have, that good of coverage. A lot of these fighting type moves just don't exist in Gen 1. Brick Break, I'm pretty sure doesn't exist until I think it doesn't exist until Gen 3. It has Body Slam. Earthquake, we'll get over that a bit. But Body Press, Close Combat, Bulk Up, doesn't have any of these. So for the most part, the only thing that the fighting type really does is just hold Great Tusk back, giving it a Psychic and Flying weakness. And having a Psychic weakness in Generation 1 is really bad. And also, with the best type in the game, Normal, since you don't really have any fighting type moves that exist at the time, you can't take advantage of your fighting stuff no matter what. Because I'm looking here, I don't see any fighting moves that existed. For example, Submission, the main one, doesn't learn that. High Jump Kick, doesn't learn that either. Low Kick, it has no fighting stat whatsoever. And that is really unfortunate. However, it does have one move that existed back then that would definitely be good now, and that's Earthquake. And having Earthquake from a Great Tusk is huge. Let's go and go back to Gen 1 for the rest of this, because all the moves that it should have, here's all the ones I know, Body Slam, and then Hyper Beam, which luckily in Gen 1 is physical, and then Rock Slide. These are all stuff you can use. Maybe get rid of Hyper Beam for rest if you want to. But let's look at these stats. We'll go over the moves later. Let's look at these stats for a second. Because physically this thing is a beast. And compared to let's look at Rhydon. 130. Oh, that's actually not too far off, actually. Obviously Great Tusk is physically superior. It has better defense. Ironically, it has better special. Or its stats are just better than Rhydon's and everything. But ironically, the one advantage that Rhydon has would actually be its rock typing, which is actually, I'd argue it's more significant than my Great Tusk, it resisting. But what even resists with the fighting? I guess it resists rock even more. Boy, that's whatever. It resists bug, but that there's no bug moves. Spoiler alert, Jolteon was not gonna use Pin Missile against you. And Steel, I don't remember if Steel resists fighting. I don't think it does. So yeah, like I said before, fighting type does nothing. And even though Rock gives it 2 4-times weaknesses, ironically, it's a lot more manageable. I'm pretty sure Rhydon doesn't really handle water or grass moves better than Great Tusk. However, it does have a nice normal resistance. And that's the main thing. These guys both have 2 purposes. And the first one is the Wall Zapdos and Jolteon. And the second is to resist normal attacks like Explosion and a Body Slam. Now, granted, because of Great Tusk, does his like raw like bulk, and since he has like better stats and everything, like he has like 10 more or 11 more defense, and then like 14 more like HP. So ironically, he can take that pretty well. Like not as well as like Rhydon, like not like as good as like a Tauros like Body Slam or anything, but it's not that bad. Like you could probably see a lot of tabs. I'll be showing you a lot of different replays I tested for different mons in like Gen 1 OU to see how he does. But like he can survive like, you know, explosions and stuff like that. But you have to have full HP for that, which is really unfortunate. Now let me go back in the OU real quick. Let me see if he... It's like all these are, you know, obviously he has all these, but are they any other like, I guess protects the thing, but that's whatever. Substitute, I can kind of see. Actually, yeah. Because he doesn't resist, so if you have a chance to sub, that actually might be better when fighting against like the normal types. So there's Hyper Beam. I really wish Reversal at the very least was in the game, but it's not. Yeah, but that's everything, unfortunate. Now, compared to other mons, like let's see here. I guess I can just keep it, so like let's look up Tauros. He has a much higher attack and defense stat. His speed isn't as good, and Tauros' special is obviously better at 70. But he can hit pretty freaking hard with Earthquake, even though it's just by one attack point. Pretty sure like Great Tusk now has the strongest Earthquake in the game, and by default, it will now have the strongest like physical attack. Doesn't have any drawbacks, so nothing like a Hyper Beam or Explosion, etc. So definitely potential here. There's no doubt about that. He hits really hard. He could take a lot of stuff 1v1. And he could probably survive some special attacks. Or exactly one special attack from his, because of his, like, HP alone. But I don't know. I'll be honest, I was pretty confident when I started, like, working on this. But once I started doing some, like testing, I was like, you cannot be serious. So why don't we start reacting to some of those? Because I'll be honest, I made these replays like a few weeks ago, so some of them I don't remember. But I do remember genuinely, like, just how good, like, he does in each of the matchups. So, like, starting here, we have, like, you know, like, Great Tusk versus Rhydon. Normally, Rhydon doesn't, like, have a lot of fear. But, like, as you can see here, right, look how much his Earthquake does. That is the strongest, like, Earthquake that does in front of, like, Great Tusk itself. And it did nothing. He absolutely destroyed Rhydon. And that is actually kind of huge. So, like, let's say you have, like, a Zapdos on your team. Obviously, Zapdos gets walled by Rhydon. Great Tusk can take it out easily. It is insane. Now here we have Great Tusk versus Tauros. And yeah, Blizzard. Now granted, if you get a crit, like you see right there, that did a lot of freaking damage. But yeah, Tauros Blizzard is a clean 2-hit KO. So, like, you're gonna see, like, a big problem with Great Tusk, with a lot of these. So, like, I believe this one's also one with Tauros. But this is, like, a Tauros use, like, normal for whatever reason. So, like, it takes that Body Slam pretty well. And then it's, like, it doesn't even resist it. And then, as you can see, like, Body Slam, or not Body Slam, Earthquake is, like, I think, like, a 3-hit KO on Tauros. And even a critical Hyper Beam doesn't even, like, KO it. So, that would seem pretty good. But again, Blizzard, it kills Great Tusk really easily. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure, like, a crit, which is one-shot it. But, like, you could take, like, a Body Slam. There's also the fear of getting paralyzed. And I'm pretty sure Great Tusk does not like being paralyzed. But at least you have to wipe out Thunder Wave. Having immunity, that's pretty good. Now here we have Chansey. And with Chansey, it's pretty good. Just like Rhydon, it has a clean 2-hit KO. So that's actually really good. And obviously it outspeeds. However, reflex sets are pretty bad. And also, like, after I finished this testing, I think I came to the conclusion that Hyper Beam on this guy is, like, pretty bad. It does pretty much the exact same amount as, like, Earthquake. But, like, I can't think of anything other than like maybe like Exeggutor exactly where you would want to use Hyper Beam or Earthquake. And also here's another example of just how bad that special is. Chansey's Ice Beam just clean 2-hit KOs it, which is no bueno. Yeah, but luckily most cases probably won't be like that. Like Reflect Chansey, yeah, that I'm pretty sure right that can just outstall Great Tusk unless you get like a crit. Ice Beam like does a lot of damage, but not the worst thing in the world. Now, Snorlax. Funny enough, Self-Destruct doesn't like one shot, and that's like the strongest physical attack in the tier. It doesn't even like bring in the red health. However, as you can clearly see, it definitely needs to 100% be in like full HP. If it's like a half or anything, I'm pretty sure it just like dies. But that's pretty good. I'm like really good. It obviously you can take like body slams too. Psychics, on the other hand, yeah, look at that. But for the strongest Earthquake in the tier, that did nothing. Not to mention Alakazam's really fast, it crits a lot. But like, I don't think any of you are surprised. Obviously, it's gonna like die to like any Psychic type. Also, it also probably loses any like variant of Snorlax that like uses like Reflect and Ice Beam. So that's also pretty bad. Now, this is by far the worst matchup he has. And that's against Exeggutor. Because Exeggutor resists the ground moves. It can get put to sleep, like paralyzed with Stun Spore or its Psychic. And Great Tusk can't do anything. It is actually really freaking sad. But like on the bright side, it can survive Explosion. Not very good. And also here's a Hyper Beam missed there, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't even like do that much. But it takes like half exactly from Explosion. So it's in that case we need to be at full HP. But I'm not even sure what would even happen to get your Exeggutor to explode on like a Great Tusk. So like this probably won't even like be that relevant in the first place. I don't know why it's loading like that. I had all these right beforehand. But you know what? That's like better for foreshadowing. Because there was one Mon left. Because when I originally thought of this, and whenever you think of Great Tusk in general, like in Gen 1, like you probably don't, but like, the first thing you might think about is like it competing with Rhydon, right? Like obviously, like a ground type that takes a lot of physical moves and has strong earthquakes. So, like I said, the two main like points of that is the body normal types, which Great Tusk does kind of okay. Like it can like definitely like do a lot of damage to them and take just a regular normal stab. But the issue is with Reflect and like Ice coverage, which a lot of variants of like Chansey and Snorlax have, and 100% of Tauros variants have, it struggles. So it's inconsistent. And obviously, against Jolteon, it does really good. It's like a free matchup. How do you think it does against Zapdos? I really want you to guess right now. And comment down below. And like, don't change your comment once you like run with the answers, but like, it's not very good. It is really not that good. Like, just look at this. Look at how much a critical Drill Pick does. And look how much Rock Slide does in return. And keep in mind, Zapdos is fast, so it will consistently get Drill Picks up. And Great Tusk has to rely on the very inconsistent Rock Slide. So look at that. Look at how terrible that went. Alright. Okay, once again, I already had this ready. So that's annoying, but it doesn't matter. But let's look at it again, alright? Another one. So Drill Pick, alright. That did like probably like a third. And that Rock Slide also does a third. Does another third. I don't remember why I said hit with Hyper Beam. That was I think I really wanted to like prove Hyper Beam would work. But what's that Great Tusk did hit there? Maybe it could have killed. And if it got a crit, it could have killed. But even like in a best case scenario, like you might have the like Zapdos in like red HP, but you'll be in red. Or you kill the Zapdos, but you're in red HP. So it can easily be revenge killed. So as far as I'm concerned, it loses the Zapdos 1v1. And that is huge. So, yeah, I just don't think there's any way you can use, like, Great Tusk to be superior to Rhydon. However, I think this first replay was by far the most important one. Because let's look at this again, alright? Let's see how Rhydon does against Great Tusk. It does horribly. It's a 2-hit KO easily. Now normally it's sort of the same thing for Rhydon versus Rhydon, but that usually ends with both Rhydons being really damaged. But Great Tusk eats their Earthquakes easily. So while Great Tusk is a horrible at, taking out Zapdoses, you know what's actually really good against? Working together with Zapdos. Oh, it has base 100. I thought it had base 90. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, Zapdos and Great Tusk, these two work perfectly together. Because Great Tusk being able to easily take out Rhydon means that Zapdos can pretty much just reign supreme. And that is huge. Zapdos is already one of the best Pokemon in Gen 1. And one of the few reasons it's not overpowered is because Rhydon exists. And if you're able to easily scale out Rhydon, hell, able to scale out Rhydon and be able to hit whatever else switches into an Earthquake other than Zapdos exactly, that's actually huge. And there might even be an argument that use all three of them. You use all three of these, and then your extender a Snorlax and then Chansey. This right here is a team that can pretty much take care of a lot of normal types. And against psychic types, okay, that actually is a pretty big flaw. So you probably want to dedicate your Chansey, or obviously your Snorlax, just to take those out. But yeah, well, in trying to find a niche for Great Tusk, he ended up being a worse Rhydon. By doing this research, turns out that he has, if he was in Gen 1 OU, I think he would just have a completely different niche where his sole purpose is to take out Rhydon, sort of like what a Rhydon's main purpose is to take out Jolteon and Zapdos. And I don't know about you, but that is really interesting to think about. So you get rid of these, use Substitute instead. If you ever use Substitute and Body Slam, maybe try to fish for Paralysis on Zapdos. I didn't record that, but that could be interesting. Yeah, there's definitely potential here. I don't know what ranking he would exactly be. Definitely not A. I'm saying either B or C tier. And would he drop the underuse? I'm not sure. Because there is a lot of good things here. And some Pokemon didn't go over. For example, didn't go over Gengar or Jolteon. Obviously, Jolteon is a free win. Gengar's Psychic could be kind of dangerous. But also, I'm pretty sure, Gengar might not want to risk that. Because if he hits Earthquake, Gengar is just dead. If he did go in the underuse, however, I'm pretty sure he would not survive. Because there's just, so many, water types in that tier. And I think he would just be too good for never use. So he'd probably be banned there. So, I personally think he would stay in OU. I think his stats are just too high. And his Earthquake hits too hard. But he definitely wouldn't be a mainstay. He would have a lot of issues. Now, granted, if he had any fighting stab, or I don't know about submission. Submission is one of the worst moves ever. But I think with just Earthquake, it's already pretty good. So yeah, that is Great Tusk in Gen 1 OU. I personally think it'd be interesting to test. And if any of you want to, just let me know. Because I'm always looking to play Gen 1 with people, because no one ever wants to. And I want to make more videos with testing out other Pokemon. I was thinking maybe the next one I want to do is Aggron. But I'm not sure. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you think. Do you think Great Tusk will be good in Gen 1? Is there anything I missed out? Let me know. And until then, I look forward from hearing you.